All right, well, joining us now from the other side of the aisle is the Pennsylvania Democratic Congressman Brendan Boyle. He is a member of the Budget Committee. Congressman, thanks for joining us here on the Hill. I'm guessing you heard your colleague on the other side of the aisle there. What's your response to what she said?
Well, unfortunately, I was just walking in, so I missed a lot of what she said to you, though I do understand that she and Speaker McCarthy have had a bit of a back and forth today, and some Republican members taking her side, some Republican members defending the Speaker. It's just more of the chaos and the confusion that we've gotten used to ever since January when Kevin McCarthy took over as Speaker with this very narrow House Republican majority that, frankly, is never on the same page about anything.
What would it take for your side of the aisle to work with Kevin McCarthy?
We've already done it. I mean, I would remind you that in June, once Kevin McCarthy finally put a bill on the floor that was a bipartisan compromise that didn't pander to his extreme MAGA right wing, what did you see? You saw 80% of House Democrats join 2/3 of House Republicans to raise the debt ceiling, as well as put parameters on what next year's spending should look like. Ultimately, I think that's what next year's spending is going to look like. It's time for Speaker McCarthy to come back to the bipartisan deal, stop reneging on it. He keeps trying to bend over backwards to pacify extremists who are always going to be a no anyway. Work with the Democrats, stick to our bipartisan deal.
Here was the leader of the Democratic Party, Hakeem Jeffries, over the weekend. Get your reaction on the other side.
House Republicans are in the middle of a civil war. The House Republican Civil War is hurting hard-working American taxpayers. Stop fighting each other in the reckless, reprehensible Republican Civil War.
That's not productive, is it?
He's exactly right. What we have just witnessed, and today is a great example of it, it is absolutely the case that we see the House Republicans turning on themselves. We've had 4 or 5 engage in it, on it today. It's just such a contrast to what happened 2 years ago when House Democrats had the same exact numerical majority, and you saw the most ambitious pieces of legislation passed since 1965. Here, Republicans can't even get their own CR on the floor to pass.
I asked your colleague, Congresswoman Spartz, about Donald Trump, so let me ask you about Joe Biden. New polling out. Only 16%, that is basically only 1 in 6 Americans, say that the president is physically healthy to serve as president again. CBS polling, that poll shows, like just about every other poll, that it is a coin flip right now between Donald Trump and Joe Biden, should that be the matchup. You comfortable with where President Biden is right now?
So a couple things. First, I have been up close and personal and spent a lot of time with the president, probably about a dozen times over the last 6 months, including spending an entire day with him, flying up to my district and back when he announced his budget proposal back in March, as well as touring over the part of I-95 that had been destroyed and then repaired in June. I have absolutely no doubt whatsoever about his capacity to do the job, whether it's physically, mentally, emotionally, or any other way.
So you have access to the President of the United States.
I'm sorry for speaking while you're interrupting me, but I can tell you that as someone who has actually been up close and personal with the president, I can put my hand on a stack of Bibles and attest that he is absolutely robust and has what it takes to do the job, and his record shows it. In terms of where he is showing in the polling, right now at this exact moment, Bill Clinton was losing re-election to Bob Dole. Right now at this exact moment, Barack Obama was losing re-election to Mitt Romney. So I would point out the horse race about a year plus in advance really hasn't been a good indicator of what happens in the election.
Thanks for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to subscribe. Click the red button to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.